It's not for you. I want to do a merch drop. Let me know how you're feeling about today's lesson.
He's got his cozy jumper on today.
And you guys can't see me. Oh, that was my favorite one. I literally have no idea who that is. Turns out it was Amazon. It's not for you. I have ordered dog food, so it could be the dog food and the dog treats, but I think it's my new Birkenstocks. They're so cute. Okay, I love them. Welcome back to the studio for a vlog. I'm vlogging today. It's Monday. It's the start of a new week. And it's a week where most of what's on my calendar is actually personal projects. Exciting personal projects because they're personal projects that I'm working on for autumn winter launches. I haven't done like proper product launching in a really long time. By the way, we nearly have 5,000 subscribers here. As I'm recording this, when I checked it yesterday, we were 40 subscribers away from 5,000 YouTube pals, which is so exciting. But if there's any of you who are here that have followed me since way back in the beginning on Instagram, you'll know that I used to have an online shop where I sold products that was called Hello Happy. I closed that side of the business. But recently I have been kind of looking into print on demand product options. Obviously, one of those is my Amazon KDP books. One of the projects that I'm working on this week is finalizing the designs for my 2025 planners. You guys are gonna love the theme and the idea and the concepts for these planners for this year. So let me turn you guys around and show you the mood board. This little gremlin is playing with his emotional support slipper. These are my mood boards for the 2025 planner collection. I've already mocked up the internal pages layout. So we're going to go with a different layout this year. Based on you guys' feedback, you wanted a little bit more space for writing. So that's what I'm going to try and give you. And then we're also going to have a daily planner that's going to have a slightly different layout. So that's what that's going to look like. We're also going to have matching notebooks, which are going to look like this. I'm also planning on doing a couple of other versions. So one of the ones that I'm planning on doing is an undated monthly planner. I had one of these a couple of years ago and I absolutely loved it. And it's basically just, the idea is it's basically just a calendar layout, blank calendar layouts for the whole notebook. So you can use it for like planning personal things for the month. You can use it for planning your content for the month. You can use it for meal planning for the month, whatever you want. It's basically just a notebook of blank, undated calendars that you can fill out. So that's another one that I'm doing. I'm doing the lined notebook, and I also want to try and do a grid page notebook because I personally love like a grid page for drawing and sketching on, and I think it would be really fun to do a notebook like that. The other thing that I am working on this week, that I'm starting to work on, is I want to do a merch drop, which I'm so excited about. Earlier this year, I worked with Faces. I'm actually coincidentally wearing the sweater from the collaboration that I did with them. I never really did merch when I was product selling. I did one merch drop for a t-shirt design, but it wasn't that successful. I still have a box of unsold t-shirt stock in my studio here. But yeah, this was different. I really enjoyed working on this. It really got me thinking about how much I enjoyed the process of like designing something that's like a collectible, or it's like a limited edition thing. So that is my long-winded way of saying that this week I am going to start designing a merch drop for autumn winter 2024. We've all got really close this year as a community. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I definitely feel that this year across all of my spaces, whether it's Instagram, whether it's here on YouTube, whether it's just like in my Patreon community, shout out to my Patreons, by the way, if you want to become a Patreon, the link for that is in the description. But I feel like we have become a really close-knit community this year, especially feel like a lot more creatives have come into the community this year, and I feel like I have a lot more like peers amongst you, like people that I can relate with and that we can have long conversations in DMs together. And I just think doing a merch drop would be a really fun thing to like finish out the year so that we could all have matching jumpers is basically what I'm going for. So that is the plan for this week. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's make some art. Yeah. Today kind of ended up being a little bit of a write-off day. I think it was one of those days where my schedule was switched around and it really like messed up my focus and my motivation. It's something that I have been trying to work on a little bit not a little bit, a lot in therapy this year. I don't know if any of you who struggle with anxiety can relate to this. Let me know in the comments, but I feel like when I have a routine, like the smallest change to it, even if it's a change that I know about, that I was okay about, that I planned, it like makes me lose focus then. Like my brain really struggles to like adjust to seeing how the rest of the day is going to work based on that change. So rather than today be a complete write-off day, what I've actually decided to do is have like a little learning focus day. I kind of had planned to do that on Friday afternoon anyway, so I've just decided to kind of move around my week, kind of lean into what I'm feeling and like show up for myself where I am, which is something again that I am working on in therapy, and to just focus on doing like learning stuff today because I'm not feeling very motivated, and always like doing learning stuff always helps me feel motivated. So I spent a little bit of time this afternoon like watching other YouTube vlogs because at the moment I'm really like trying to figure out what do I want my vlogging and my editing style to be as I grow this channel. Like how do other creators do it? Like how do they bring their brand voice and style into their channels? I've been watching like old Furry Little Peach vlogs because I love her way of like storytelling in vlogs. I've also been watching Catnip vlogs because I feel like she is really good at balancing like studio vlogs and like learning content on her channel, which is similar to kind of what I want to do here. Me and Coco are in our little coziness. I personally love to sit on the floor when I'm feeling like being cozy or like I'm not feeling very focused. Something about sitting on the floor just helps me concentrate. I've got my laptop, I've got my tea in my spooky Starbucks mug, and I am going to catch up on a course. I enrolled in a business course back at the start of September and I am so behind. So I'm gonna sit down, watch a couple of the lessons that I missed the live lesson of, and take some notes and just have like a cozy learning evening so I can get my head clear, have an early dinner, and start fresh tomorrow. up the sketches for my cute and spooky wallpaper collection for my Patreons, and they're looking very cute. I have created these characters a couple of times before, but I wanted to redo them today because I want to vectorize them so I can create some kind of Halloween themed patterns. And I wanted to show you guys my process because I've shared a couple of times on Instagram recently and also over on Patreon that I have been trying out Adobe Fresco since the summer to vectorize my illustrations. If you are a longtime follower, you will know that I am a Procreate lover. I have used it since I got my iPad. The reason I saved up to get my first iPad was to use Procreate. So converting and saying that I have found another app that I potentially love more is a pretty big deal for me. I've been challenging myself to learn how to use Adobe Fresco because it is a great way around not having to use something like a Wacom tablet, which, like, if you can't afford to invest in the Wacom tablets with the screens, I want to love this, and I do like use it a lot when it comes to like editing things in Adobe Illustrator. But having used the iPad for years now, where I literally draw and see what I'm drawing as I draw it, the process of going back to a Wacom tablet was really difficult for me. I found it really frustrating. It slowed down my process, and it was really difficult for me to make the illustrations I was creating with this inside an Adobe Illustrator actually match my illustration style. So that is where I landed on Adobe Fresco because I had seen a couple of other creators using it in videos and talking about how they use it to create vector art, and I was really slow to try it again because I did try it when I first downloaded my iPad and I really didn't like it. And I've seen a lot of you guys saying the same things in the comments here on YouTube and also over on Instagram, that you tried it in the past and you didn't like it, that you much prefer Procreate, that you find Fresco harder to use. But when I went back to it this time, I was actually really surprised how quick I picked it up and how much easier it was to use than what I remembered. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm still creating my sketches inside in Procreate because I love the pencil brush. But what I do then is I actually copy my sketches from Procreate and paste them into Adobe Fresco and use that to create vector illustrations, which I can then turn into patterns. And the amazing thing about it is with like literally the tap of one button or like one menu tab, I can send the vector art that I've been creating in Fresco straight over to my desktop and open it up in Adobe Illustrator to finish off the patterns, which honestly has been amazing and sped up my whole process for actually creating vector art. So that is what we're going to do today. I've already created the sketches for my cute and spooky collection. Now I'm gonna copy and paste them into Adobe Fresco and start to create the vector art for them. Here I've got the finished vector art. You can see that it's over a couple of layers in here. So I kind of have like a background layer, a main block color layer, and then like little details on a separate layer. Adobe Illustrator is over here open on my MacBook, ready to go. So what I'm gonna do is tap up here where it says this little share icon. I'm gonna tap on that, and then I'm going to click this button that says open a copy. And then you can click Illustrator Desktop and it's going to send the file. So here we go. It says Photoshop import options, but I don't know why it says that, but it is from the fresco. You can see in the little icon, there's a preview of the illustrations. There are some settings that we can set here. I have selected to convert layers to objects. This means that they're going to remain like vector artwork, and also to import hidden layers like my sketch layers in case I want to come back to them. And then I'm just going to click OK. And there you go. There it is, open in Adobe Illustrator. And if I hover over these, you can see it has picked up all of the little details in the vector art. They're not grouped right now. They're all like individual pieces and groups. So what I like to do next is select different pieces at a time. Not done a very good job there. Okay. And then click to group it together. So then I can move it off over here and I have a piece ready to start building my pattern. Hello to who are joining us live. Pop a message in the chat, say hello, let me know how you're feeling about today's lesson because we are going on to manuscripts today. And you guys can't see me like, oh, that's probably a bit low down.
Pop, pop. Yeah. He's got his cozy jumper on today because it's a rainy day. Yeah. Coco doesn't like the rain.
I have had a very productive morning this morning. I actually got up when my alarm went off this morning and I got to the gym early, which was very impressive for me. There is something about, and I feel like I've said this before on a vlog, but there is something about vlogging that makes me more productive because I'm like, if I don't do things, then there's going to be nothing in the vlog for people to see. So I feel like you guys keep me accountable by being on the other side of this video, even though you're not in the room with me. So thank you for the accountability. I've been working on some Peachtober prompts. I am taking part in Peachtober this year, but I am very behind. So today is the 16th of October and I only started working on prompt 12 and 13 today. This is my third year attempting Peachtober, and the first 2 years I ended up quitting around this point because I fell behind and I had this like perfectionist idea that if I'm not posting the prompt on the day that it's supposed to upload, then there's no point in doing it. But this year I got much clearer on what my goals for the challenge were, and I wanted to just use the challenge as a way to get back to like creating illustrations for the sake of creating illustrations. I feel like I've got really rusty with that because at the start of the year, like the first half of this year, I wasn't working on developing any new projects because my main focus was developing my Amazon KDP course. The only place that I really feel like I've still been able to like focus on creativity is creating content for my Patreon members. And honestly, I'm so grateful for my Patreon members because I feel like, again, that's another space of like accountability. If you are a Patreon member, shout out to you. And if you're not, the link and all of the info about Patreon is in the description under this video. I have been catching up on Peachtober prompts this morning. I also posted my process reel for day 12, and I prepped an extra reel to go up tonight to share the spooky Halloween wallpapers that I created. I've already set it as my wallpaper on all of my devices. The cute little ghost wallpaper, that was my favorite one. Now it's after lunch and I'm feeling very productive. I feel like I'm actually keeping on top of my to-do list this week, but I do have a pretty big deadline because I want to have the manuscripts created. So like the internal pages, the PDF file basically for my 2025 planner collection done by the end of this week. So today I really want to like get my head down, work on my 2025 planner collection. And the other thing that I want to do is put together the mood board for my merch collection because I really want to share my ideas about that on Instagram to get some feedback from everybody. So let's dive into that. Busy working away on my 2025 planners, and I thought I would give you guys a little progress update as we come to the end of this studio vlog. What I've done might not seem like a lot when I show you, but trust me, it was very time consuming, and it's probably the biggest chunk of work pretty much done, and from here everything is going to just need to be duplicated. So let me show you guys. So this is what it's looking like so far. I'm going to go at the front, so this will be like the spread for the year, so we'll have like all of the little months. And then the next spread that I've created is the goal setting spread. I loved this spread in last year's planner, so I've kind of expanded out on it. Then here is the monthly spread. One of the main pieces of feedback that I got from last year's planners were that having the monthly spread calendar on one page didn't give you enough spaces to write in the boxes. So I've put it over 2 pages now, so there's loads of space to write in the boxes. And then there's these extra boxes over here at the side for like monthly goals and like notes or reminders. The last spread that I kind of have to create is like the weekly planning spread. And then obviously for each month, I'm just going to be duplicating copies of what I've created and then like changing the colors, changing the month, and changing the dates. So I think if I give it a couple of hours on Friday, I should be able to have like most of the pages for the weekly planner done, which means that next week I will be able to move on to cover designs, which is my favorite part anyway, and the part that I'm most excited about. I haven't got onto the mood boards for my merch collection, but I did drop a poll on Instagram stories earlier on asking for feedback on whether or not to do like a cozy themed merch collection or a Christmas themed merch collection. I'm going to actually let that poll like run for the full 24 hours and see what feedback comes in from my audience on Instagram as to like what direction I should go with the collection before I start making the mood boards. These two are very moody because it's 6 o'clock and they have decided 6 o'clock is end of workday time. Anyway, I'm going to come back to the mood boards for my merch collection on Friday. And I'm hoping to pick up my camera and start vlogging again once I get to that stage of the process. So I am going to end out this vlog here. I really hope that you enjoyed coming along with me for a productive couple of days in the studio. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed seeing behind the scenes, and let me know what you're more excited for, the planner collection or the merch drop. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click subscribe to join the creative community here on YouTube, and I will see you guys in the next video.